Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vinoda Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patik Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Raman Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Devaki knows. Which Damodarāṣṭakam tune did we do yesterday?
She wasn't there. She had to leave early.
She still knows. What tune of Sansardava? Okay. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Page 1 of this book, Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. You are right, Devaki. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavāśca Shri Rūpam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadveta Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitāśca Om Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnānanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārāyaṇam Shannamami Dandinam Bhakta Shiromanicca Shri Krishna Pada Jugataika Hridi Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasar Nārayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Yuktinamine Atīvatya Charitraya Svashritanakshapaline Jiva Dukhe Sadarthaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanami Devi Dayitaya Kripa Bhaje Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanga Bhaktidan Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahayo Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatanine Rupanugam Virudhapo Siddhanta Dvanpaharine Namo Gaura Kishorayo Sakshat Vairagya Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Chayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivedānta Satchidananda-namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupangavarayate Gauravirbhava Bhumestvam Nirdishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradhishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Panko Mama Mandam Matergati Matsarvasvapadamboja Radha Madanamohano Divyat Vrindaranya Śrīmad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshthāvidhi Semyamano Smarami Shrimandra Sarasarambhi Vanshivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venu Svanargopi Gopinatha Shristunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyayai cha Krishna bhakti prade devi Satyavrata namo namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Cheto Darpana Marjan Bhava Mahatamagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Budivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Shvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nam Harer Nam Harer Nameva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gati Niranyata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas. So we're going to call out to Sri Gurudev in the prayer known as Sri Guruvāṣṭakam Saṅsāra Dāvāna Lalidhaloka. What's so high? This is not an advertisement, but just so you know, in case any of you want to sing prolonged, it's called Kārtika by Yogi, and it's very good. All the singers love it, so, and it doesn't really get in the way. Achyuta Krishna Das, Dandavat Pranam from California. I was born in California, but I'm here in Vrindavan. And I think he was born in Vrindavan, and he's still in Vrindavan by heart, but he's physically there in California. So Saṅsāra Dāvāna Lalidhaloka. What page is that? Sri Guruvāṣṭakam. Oh, it's in the Sanskrit section. I think it's page 245. Nope, 255. Saṅsāra dāvāna lalidhaloka trānāya kārunyo ghana ghanatam saṅsāra dāvāna lalidhaloka प्राप्तस्य कल्याणं पुनर्नवस्य प्राप्तस्य कल्याणं पुनर्नवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभु की तननृत्य गीतो वादित्रमाद्यन् मनसो रसेन महाप्रभु की तननृत्य गीतो वादित्रमाद्यन् मनसो रसेन रोमाञ्चकं पाशु तरङ्गभाजो रोमाञ्चकं पाशु तरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहारा घननित्यनाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमार्जनादो श्रीविग्रहारा धननित्यनाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमार्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि युक्तस्य भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् चतुर्विध श्री भगवत्प्रसादो साध्वनतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गम् चतुर्विध श्री भगवत्प्रसादो साध्वनतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गम् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् क्लेशनाशा धनलोभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं निकुञ्जयूनो प्रतिकेलिसिद्ध्यै यायानिभिर्युक्ति अपेक्षणीया निकुञ्जयूनो प्रतिकेलिसिद्ध्यै यायानिभिर्युक्ति अपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदक्ष्या अतिवल्लभस्य तत्रातिदाक्ष्या अतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं साक्षात् हरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैरुक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव सद्भिः साक्षात् हरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैरुक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव सद्भिः किन्तु प्रभुर्य प्रिय एव तस्य किन्तु प्रभुर्य प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् भगवति कुतोऽपि यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् भगवति कुतोऽपि ध्यायं सुवंस्तस्य यशस्त्रिसन्ध्यं ध्यायं सुवंस्तस्य यशस्त्रिसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दं 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 गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपादो जय प्रभुपादो प्रभुपादो जय प्रभुपादो जय प्रभुपादो Gurudev ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. When we came to the fourth verse, Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Svadhana Tirtan Hari Bhakti Sangam, Shri Guru feels much contentment in satisfying Shri Hari's devotees with the four kinds of prasad, that which is chewed, sucked, licked, and drunk. I adore the lotus feet of that Shri Gurudev. And as I was singing that, I was remembering how back in the early days, not so early, but 96, 98, 99, like that, when we were in Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math in Mathura with our Srila Gurudev. At that time, Gurudev used to walk up and down the prasadam aisles. No one would scream, "Hey, bring more rice." Well, maybe some of the devotees from Bengal. But we weren't supposed to do that, because mercy descends, but we cannot demand it. So how was mercy coming? Srila Gurudev would walk up and down the aisles. Do you need anything more? Would you like anything more? More rice? Yes. Bring rice, he would say. Bring more chapatis. Is there too much chili? If there's too much chili, I will beat the cook, he said, like this. You need more salt? Anything. Gurudev himself would walk up and down the aisles and make sure that everyone was satisfied. And here it says he feels much contentment in satisfying Shri Hari's devotees with prasadam. So he was manifesting this mood perfectly. And then I came to the next verse. Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Lila Guna Rupa Namnam Pratikshanaśvādana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaramindam. There is a misunderstanding in the world today that any guru who speaks about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna must necessarily be Sahajya. It's kind of strange. There's been a lot of warnings by our acharyas that one who is not qualified should not speak on these subjects, and one who is not a sincere listener should be careful about listening to the very intimate pastimes. But what is the nature of such a personality, Shri Guru? At every moment, Shri Radhika Madhavayor Apara Madhurya Lila Gunurupananam. He is experiencing intense greed in his heart to relish the unlimited sweetness of the holy names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Shri Radha Madhava. The word here, lolupasya, this is lolyam, intense greed, to always speak about, remember, share, and experience these sweet pastimes of Radhika and Madhava. So this is actually a qualification for Gurudev, not a disqualification. What is a disqualification? Is when someone assumes the role of Guru, is delving in all of those subject matters and simultaneously delving in all kinds of mundane activities. So they're only doing the transcendental activities for the purpose of collecting followers, for the purpose of collecting money, and the purpose of collecting sense gratification. And that's what the result will be for that person who is not actually saturated with intense greed for those transcendental pastimes. What is the proof that greed is there? They have no attraction to any of that other stuff. They don't want it. Srila Gurudev perfectly embodied all of these principles of Shri Guru as defined by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in this bhajan. Is this prayer also telling us what a real Guru's activities are? This is telling what is the qualification for real Guru and what they do. Right? The qualification is telling that actually he is non-different. Sakshat Hari Tvena Samashta Shastre. All Shastras are saying that he is non-different from Hari. However, Kintu, but, Prabhurya Priya Eva Tasya. So he is not Vishai Bhagavan, but he is still Bhagavan. Bhagavan, or God in essence, has two parts. Ashray and Vishai. So Krishna is the Vishai aspect, and all others are considered the Ashray aspect. He is the enjoyer and they are the servitor. How will he enjoy without receiving enjoyment? So who is giving the enjoyment? Gurudev said this about that one word in our Guru Gayatri, Krishnanandaya. He said, what does this mean? He said, it means that Gurudev, and it must be in Guru Sakhi form, because only a female form can intimately serve Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan, is serving both Krishna and Krishna, Radha and Krishna conjugal together. This is the meaning of Krishnanandaya. Srila Gurudev explained it to us in the home of Kanti Punja Prabhu in Fiji Islands. Wait, what? The person who administers the single remedy of all three worlds, giving nectar of Harinam? Yes. The tendency has been that for every one real guru, you might get 1,000 fakes. As our Gurudev would say, kangaroo, who actually are only interested in taking your money, your partner, your bank account, your car, your house, your shraddha for themselves, and then living luxuriously off of your worship and adoration, enjoying that. But really they're not passing that on to Krishna or onto their Gurudev. So we have seen, and we do see so many like that. So many enjoying the service, enjoying the money, enjoying the adoration of their followers. But that is not the function of Guru. Guru is Ashray Bhagavan, meaning they are not the enjoyer, rather they are utilizing everything in serving the transcendental senses, the transcendental enjoyment of Krishna. So because of this massive amount of frauds, it's very easy to generalize that anyone who's in the position of Guru doesn't have the qualification to speak about the pastimes of Krishna. But this is actually a qualification of Guru. So we must look at the life, the activities of that person. Someone was trying to convince me once about my Gurudev being like that because he's speaking about Krishna. And I said, but look at his personal activities. He said, yeah, but so many who are following him are also manifesting these Sahajya qualities. And I said, if you're going to judge him by that, then you can judge Prabhupada by that, or Mahaprabhu, because so many Sahajya Aprasampradayas came after the time of Mahaprabhu. And I said, and if we're going to judge our Gurudev by the criterion of whether or not he can speak about Rasa Shastra or about Krishna and Srimati Radhika, then we must also judge Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Rupa Goswami by that same medium. At that point, the conversation ended because our Gurudev's character is and was impeccable. He was always chanting, always glorifying. He could not even stop himself with intense greed. It was almost like he couldn't stop, and weeping, but also always chanting, always serving, not ever doing any nefarious activities, nothing in the background. Even when Madhav Maharaj would say, Gurudev taking rest, so silence is best. Remember? Sudevi and I walked past his room, and we just happened to glance in his window. We thought he was taking rest, but Gurudev was walking back and forth. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This was his rest, his time with Krishna, his communion with Radha and Krishna. So often we might think one thing, but looking in the background, one time there was one devotee, a senior devotee within Gurudev's Sangha, who had kind of fallen away. And the devotees came to Gurudev, oh, you must be so sad, you must be so hurt, you must be so upset. And Gurudev said, no, I'm fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. And then I went to give Madhav Mahārāja a massage, and I told Madhav Mahārāja that they said this to Gurudev, and what Gurudev's response was. And Pujapat, what? Pujapat Madhav Mahārāja began to laugh, and he said, they have no idea who Gurudev is. These things don't disturb him. They have no idea who he is. So he had such conviction that Gurudev was well and above beyond all of that. I remember once Srila Gurudev was saying, I have seen thousands come and go. Thousands. Over the years. From the time he joined the mutt, 1940 something. He took sannyas, I think, in 1946. From the time he joined, from that time until the time that he departed our vision, he said, I've seen thousands come and go. But anyone who was with him for many years saw how strong his character, how strong his practice was, and how unfailing it was. There was no shaking, no breaking, no sometimes doing it, sometimes stopping, sometimes, I would say the most interesting thing that he might do, which you would go, hey, wait a second, is that he was watching Ramayana, and he would sit there and weep while watching Ramayana. That was, we were like, wait a second, I thought you were serving Radha and Krishna, but he was watching the Ramayana and weeping while watching Ramayana. But one who understands that Ram, Sita, and all of these pastimes are actually manifestations of Krishna's pastimes, Keshavadrita, Rama Sharira, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, then they will see it as Krishna manifesting these sweet pastimes, and they will appreciate it in such a way. But I've never once seen anything, not once, of Gurudev having a little hiccup even, nothing. And I grew up seeing every leader around me, except for Prabhupada, having their hiccups. And so I was always very frightened. But when I came to Gurudev, it was like, finally, I can breathe, I can be confident, I can relax, but still my eyes were open. And he never once gave me any reason to be doubtful, to be shaken in my conviction to him, never once. He is the perfect embodiment of all of these prayers of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vande Guru Shri Charanāravindam. I therefore offer my full adoration, my pranam, everything at the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Yeah, I was thinking that's about the most naughty thing that Gurudev did, was watching Ramayana and weeping. If that's naughty, sometimes he would tease his disciples, but that's natural also. But besides that, Gurudev, that's part of Gurudev being constantly absorbed, always. How many times have I told, while he was receiving massage, what do we do in receiving massage? Oh yeah, oh, harder here. Oh, right there, right there. Oh, that feels nice. Do it more. Oh yeah, longer. What was Gurudev doing? Vande Guru Shri Charanāravindam, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghujugo Shri Jiva Gopalako, Sarach Chandra Brantim. No? One ashtakam after another, after another. Devim Gunai Sulalitam Lalitam Namami. Branturat Katstapatane Bipatiharini. Namami Nandanandanam Radha Kripakatakshastavaraju. Just one after another flowing. And then he sits up in the middle of receiving massage. And he said, there it's not like here. Here we have a very fixed hierarchy, guru-disciple relationship. Guru is always in that position, disciple is always in the subservient position. Very fixed and strong. He said there, although Sri Rupa is in charge, it's not such a strong hierarchy. It depends on the necessity for seva. He said, so according to the necessity for seva, sometimes Rupa will tell Rati, you do this. Or Rati will tell Rupa, you do this. Because they're all like friends, like sisters. In Indian culture, when you're really familiar with someone, you don't say please, thank you. One time someone said to Gurudev, thank you, Srila Gurudev. He said, what can your thank you do? He said, you cannot repay me in millions of lifetimes for what I am giving you. What can your thank you do? We say thank you as if it's something great that can repay the unlimited transcendental treasure that Guru is giving. So he just sits up from his massage and he's speaking about these subject matters. This means that's what's going on inside. And we're laughing, us massagers, looking at each other, making faces and laughing and thinking about God knows whatever. And he's fully absorbed day and night, constantly in remembering, in chanting, in glorifying Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. And then he's also translating and writing and commenting. And Madhav Maharaj is not doing it fast enough, and Gurudev is just... We've seen that with Srila Prabhupada too, how he was translating and commenting on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he needed a team of like 50 devotees to try to keep up with him. He was fully absorbed. This is the qualification for Shri Guru. Complete absorption with intense greed. Pratikshana svadana lolupashya Vande Guru Shri Charanarabindam. So, Srila Gurudev said, what can your thank you do? You cannot repay me in millions of lifetimes for what I've given you. Oh, but there's one thing you can do. And this is for all of us. If you ever meet anyone who's even a little sincere, means they have some qualification, they want to hear, and they're a little eager to progress, then you share with them what you have received from me. Share this message. Share this Gauravani Prachar. Tell them about Krishna. Share these conceptions, these moods that I'm giving. This you can do. So, if we have hopeless indebtedness to such a personality, which we do, there's no way we can repay. Like Gurudev told me, when you begin to realize, understand, and appreciate what a valuable treasure Guru is giving, more valuable than millions of treasures of this world, without expecting or without asking anything in return. He doesn't need anything from us. Nothing. He's just giving us this treasure more than millions of treasures of this world. How can we repay someone for that? Only thing we can do is offer ourselves, or starting with at least sharing with others what he's given us, without adulteration, without twisting, without cheating. You remember that, Ramananda? Yes, it was Germany. Yes? Is she there yet? Okay. So today is Isha Thakurani's birthday. When she shows up, we're going to give her a big birthday greeting. And then, of course, by the end, we're going to do a shower of flowers, remembering how Srila Gurudev would bless any devotee on their birthday.
She's helped us so much, her and her family.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to call out to the Vaishnavas. You know, there was Sudevi's brother, Gopal. He wanted to make a band called the Babajis. And so we told Srila Gurudev that her brother wants to make a kirtan band called the Babajis. And Gurudev's like, no, all will hate them. And he said, better maybe some other name. And I said, well, we were thinking that maybe we can write something, that there's a difference between good Babajis and not good Babajis. And Gurudev said, you can write something about this. He offered it. Something about the difference between those who are not following properly and those who are following properly. And the same with gurus. So he said, yes, you can write something. And then he thought for a long time and he gave a name. He said, better Rup Kirtan Mandali. Rup Kirtan Mandali. This is the Mandali means group and Kirtan is Kirtan. So of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami. Rup Kirtan Mandali. Mandali also means group or the circle of. Mandala means circle. My birth name was Mandali Bhadra Das. This is on my passport. So that's the name of one of Krishna's cowherd-boy friends. It means the leader of the group, but also it means auspicious circle, so it can refer to the circle of the rasa dance. Anyhow, so Gurudev just said like that, all will hate them. So it doesn't mean that all are bad. It means that some are good and most are not. So in the same way, some gurus are real and most are maybe aspiring. Those who are taking the role of guru. Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Mahārāja, he said they're treating it as child's play. But it is the most serious, most heavy thing. Srila Gaur Govinda Mahārāja also said this. All of our Guru Varga have said this. These days it's so easy. You just suddenly say, I'm a guru. And then people say, oh, I'll take initiation from you. And it's pretty easy. It's very easy to just step into that role. But to step into that role, one must be so careful because you're taking the responsibility of delivering another soul to perfection. And if you yourself are not yet perfect, then how far can you carry someone? Srila Gaur Govinda Mahārāja said we should not carry more than we can handle, a bigger load or more weight than we can handle. If I can't even liberate myself or deliver myself, then how can I deliver another person? So this is actually a very serious undertaking. It starts with responsible seva, but the idea of stepping into the role of master, spiritual master, I would be really hesitant to do such a thing unless I myself was a master of the spirit, meaning I have understood who I am, what is my relationship with Krishna, who Krishna is, and that I could see Krishna. Otherwise, why would someone willingly do such a thing? It's a very heavy task. Only on the order from above. And even that very hesitantly, very carefully, to take such a grave responsibility. Srila Gurudev impressed within us very strong Guru Tattva. Srila Gaur Govinda Mahārāja impressed within us very strong Guru Tattva. Srila Prabhupada and all of our Guru Varga established within all of us very strong Guru Tattva. It is not a cheap thing. Guru is the heaviest substance. Someone who is absorbed in material affairs and taking the role of guru, they're not guru. Actually, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said they are laghu. It means light. Whenever I think of laghu, I think of cotton candy. It's big, it's fluffy, it looks like it could be heavy, but it can easily blow away in the wind. They call it a candy floss, I think, in England. So, Srila Gurudev embodied the heaviness of Guru Tattva in every action, day and night, every word, every interaction, even his own private actions. Even when taking prasadam, he would always take alone. And he would be in a very meditative way. Gopijana Vallabha Prabhu just told me 2 days ago. He said that he was listening to an old conversation. I think it was with Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And they asked him, do you take prasad in groups or alone? He said, only alone. He said, otherwise, if you're sitting with a group of persons with so many different kinds of consciousness, because at that time you're taking in something, you can also take in the consciousness of others. And so for him, he wanted to absorb himself in prasad seva. It's service to Krishna in the form of Mahaprasad. This plate is the Rasa Mandal, and for those who are deeply absorbed, like our Srila Gurudev, it's not something of any childlike experience. It's very serious. There's a whole interaction going on. It's the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. How she is going from Yavat, Viyater Kadamba, to Nandagaon. Mother Yashoda is engaging her in cooking for Krishna. 100 pots, all on the fire, and she's cooking. Putting all of her love, all of her affection, all of her bhavs and everything into that to offer to Krishna. And it is so hot, but that heat is cooling for her compared to her separation from Krishna. And then that goes to Krishna. And as he's tasting it, all of her bhavs, her moods of love and affection, he's experiencing that endless transcendental bliss directly from his own love potency, Ladini Shakti Srimati Radhika. He's experiencing transcendental bliss, tasting that. And then he wants to reciprocate. So on the pretext of making a show of, what is this? Send it back to the cook. He will bite into something and go, and put it down. Send it back. And they'll bring that back to her. This is Adharamrit. What has been touched by the transcendental lips of Krishna is now being sent back to her. And then she takes that. And then any remnant she gives to others. It's all there in the bhajan. Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. Radhikadi Gane. What is it? Yashomati Agyape Dhanishta Anito Shri Krishna Prasada Radha Bhunje Hoye Prito. Mother Yashoda is telling Dhanishta to bring Krishna's prasad to Radhika. And then Radhika is casting sidelong glances toward Krishna. She has received Krishna's own personal Mahaprasad. And then she distributes that. There's a whole pastime going on, and it is ever fresh every day. So for us, we sit down and we're like, Shanida Avidjajal. Right? Woo! What do we have today? Let's eat. Let's enjoy this. Sri Guru is not like that. He's not enjoying Mahaprasad. Gurudev said, I've never eaten anything. I serve Mahaprasad. Prasada seva korite hoya. I've never chanted anything. I'm serving Harinam Prabhu. It's different. When, oh when, will that day be ours when even a drop of those moods, one particle of those moods that are present within the heart of our Gurudev manifest in our hearts? So now we will call out the mercy and grace of the Vaishnavas. And I just look down and there I see the birthday girl, Isha Thakurani Dasi Ki Jai. So later on we will do the birthday blessings. Happy birthday. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Kori Bena Doya. I know it starts with Shri Chaitanya, but it ends with the Vaishnava petitioning profusely on our behalf. Page 75. কবে শ্রী চৈতন্য মোরে করিবেন দয়া, কবে শ্রী চৈতন্য মোরে করিবেন দয়া, কবে আমি পাইব বৈষ্ণব পদ, কবে আমি পাইব বৈষ্ণব পদ ছায়া, কবে আমি ছাড়িব এ বিষয় অভিমান, কবে আমি ছাড়িব এ বিষয় অভিমান, কবে বিষ্ণু জনে আমি করিব সমান, কবে বিষ্ণু জনে আমি করিব সমান, গলবস্ত্র কৃতাঞ্জলি বৈষ্ণব নিকটে, গলবস্ত্র কৃতাঞ্জলি বৈষ্ণব নিকটে, দন্তে তৃণ করিরারা ইব নিষ্কপতে, দন্তে তৃণ করি দাদা ইব নিষ্কপতে, কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া জানা ইব দুঃখ গ্রাম, কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া জানা ইব দুঃখ গ্রাম, সংসার নল হইতে মাগিব বিশ্রাম, সংসার নল হইতে মাগিব বিশ্রাম, শুনিয়া আমার দুঃখ বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর, শুনিয়া আমার দুঃখ বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর, আমালাগি কৃষ্ণে আবে দিবেন প্রচুর, আমালাগি কৃষ্ণে আবে দিবেন প্রচুর, বৈষ্ণবের আবেদনে কৃষ্ণ দয়াময়, বৈষ্ণবের আবেদনে কৃষ্ণ দয়াময়, এহেন পামর প্রতি হবেন সদ, এহেন পামর প্রতি হবেন সদ, বিনোদের নিবেদন বৈষ্ণব চরণে, বিনোদের নিবেদন বৈষ্ণব sangeno ho eyo kinchane kripa kori sangeno ho eyo kinchane Vaishnava Thakur Jaya 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 Vaishnava Thakur Vaishnava Thakur Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Prabhu Kripa Koro More Doya Koro 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 Vaishnava Thakur ki Jai. This one line here, two lines. Shunya Amar Duk Vaishnava Thakur Amalagi Krishne Avedivena Prachur Vaishnavera Avedane Krishna Doyamoy Ehino Pamar Prati Habena Sadoy. It's interesting how within all of these bhajans, really, all of our tattva, siddhant, everything is present within the bhajans. In fact, Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, I just saw someone say, his prayers are truly amazing. Yes, they are. He has gone through systematically all of the prayers, the works of our acharyas. And he has made a whole bhajan for each verse of Upadeshamrita. So if you want the commentary in song form of Upadeshamrita, then you will see, oh, okay, here is the whole bhajan for the first verse of Upadeshamrita. Here's another bhajan for the second verse. Also for Sri Manashiksha, by Raghunath Das Goswami, he's done the same thing. And then for the different, for Śrī Shikshāṣtakam, he's done it as well. And then he has also for, what is it? So many. Oh, for Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam Rakshashyati Vishvasho Goptritvevaranam Tata. All of the different symptoms of Sharanagati. He has a bhajan for the first one, Anukul bhajan. Then what is Pratikul? Then Rakshashyati Vishvasho. So he's broken it down and given it to us in a poetry form in such a way that it can actually be sung and remembered. So within all of these bhajans, all tattva siddhant, all of the instructions of our acharyas are given. And then of course, Bhaktivedānta Thakur is known as our seventh Goswami. And so he has so many bhajans as well, full of longing and calling out and weeping and ras. Bhajans related to ras and the pastimes of the Lord. And of course, Sri Narottam Das Thakur as well has so many bhajans showing us how to cry, how to weep, how to call out. So I was telling you about these two lines. Shunya Amar Duk, hearing my suffering. Vaishnava Thakur, what will he do? Amalagi Krishne Avedivena Prachur. He will petition Krishna profusely on my behalf. What capacity do I have on my own? But because the Vaishnava, Sri Guru, is the condensed form of the compassion and mercy of Krishna, that mercy and compassion has condensed, compressed, and taken a form heavier than Krishna himself, Gurudev said. What is the most heavy substance? That is Guru. Because Krishna's Kripa Shakti is his most powerful, potent Shakti, according to what we have read in Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. So his heart automatically feels for the suffering of the jivas in this world, para dukkha dukhi. He feels that suffering and his heart bleeds upon seeing our suffering. It is said it bleeds. In other words, he feels our pain. And then he needs to help us. A necessity comes from his heart naturally. Look at these poor suffering jivas going the wrong way. going back into the fire, trapped in material, blazing forest fire, and they're meant to love and serve Krishna. One moment for me would feel like millions of yugas, and they are millions of yugas without service. What a sad state of affairs. So any jiva that comes and takes shelter of Sri Guru or the Vaishnavas, please help me. I'm burning in this blazing fire of material existence. Maybe we don't have qualification, but we somehow are able to connect to such a personality by the mercy of Krishna. He sends his own person, ambassador. And then he petitions Krishna profusely on our behalf. This is why we must always hold on tightly to the lotus feet of Guru and the Vaishnavas. Maybe my call won't directly be heard, but Sri Guru will petition on my behalf. That's why bhakti consists of. It's part of bhakti. You cannot remove it from bhakti itself. It must always be anugatya, under guidance of any personality who is associated with Krishna according to the mood that we are also aspiring to awaken within our hearts. Then they can also awaken that mood by their mercy and by their prayer, because Krishna hears the prayers of his pure devotees. Vaishnavira avedane Krishna doyamoy. They will petition Krishna, and because Krishna is bound, he is controlled by their love and affection, he is bound to bestow his mercy. Krishna doyamoy. The all-merciful Krishna will become compassionate upon this wicked person. How dependent are we, and how indebted are we to Sri Guru? We cannot even count. We cannot conceive of the immense indebtedness that we have. And when we begin to understand that, even a little bit, we will have no choice but to offer our very selves at the lotus feet of such a personality. Yes, Ramananda, Shri Krishna Namashtakam. So now we will call out to Shri Rupa Goswami and all of our other Goswamis in the Bhajan Hari Haraye Nama Krishna. As we've told before, that bhajan has mention of Krishna and Mahaprabhu and Bhagavad Gita, but then the rest of it, from verse 4, Śrī Sanātana Bhatta Raghunath, Śrī Jeev Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, all of the rest is taking shelter of the 6 Goswamis and the Vaishnavas. I have a question. Does it sound like I'm yelling when I'm speaking? I keep forgetting that I have this little microphone here, and I'm so used to doing it a certain way. What page is that? Hari Harai? 148. If you do not have the songbook, then scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu. There you will find the bhajan, along with its translation, and generally followed by beautiful commentaries of our acharyas. So I was thinking of what tune to do, but then I saw Ramananda, and I'm going to do it with the normal and Kamta beat. I've actually learned a lot from Ramananda, believe it or not. And Madhukar just sent me a voice message. If I need anything, if I have any questions, then I connect with him regarding bhajans. He's very expert. And really humble too. Hari Haraye Namo Krishna Yadavaye Namo Hari Haraye Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gupta. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gupta. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Echai Goshai Kori Charana Bandhan. Echai Goshai Kori Charana Bandhan. Jaha hoite Vignanash Abhishta Puran. Jaha hoite Vignanash Abhishta Puran. Echai Goshai Jar Muitaro Das. Echai Goshai Jar Muitaro Das. Tasavara Padarinu Mora Panchagras. Tasavara Padarinu Mora Panchagras. Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sangevas. Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas. Janame Janame Hoi E Abhilash. Janame Janame Hoi E Abhilash. Echai Goshai Jabe Braj Koilavas. Echai Goshai Jabe Braj Koilavas. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash. Anande Bolo Hari Bhajo Vrindavan. Anande Bolo Hari Bhajo Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Kori Ash. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Kori Ash. Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das. Hariharaye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Haraye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Jaya Rupa Gosvāmī Prabhu. Rupa Gosvāmī. 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 Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Rupa Sanatan. Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Rupa Sanatan. Rupa Sanatan. Jaya Rupa Sanatan. Shri Rupa Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai. Shri Sanatana Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai. Shri Sat Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Rambhadra once asked Gurudev what he should do in life, and Gurudev said, whatever you do, don't become like him. Pointing at me. That's so funny. I didn't realize that that's what it was going to be, otherwise I wouldn't have read it. That's hilarious. But Gurudev also was very humorous. One devotee said that Gurudev said, if I didn't laugh every day, I would die. The Gurudev also liked to laugh, and when Gurudev would laugh, it was, I want to use this word, oceanic, because he would laugh, but he would bounce with it, and his belly and beard, everything would laugh with him. Everyone would laugh with him. It was so beautiful to see Gurudev laugh. Okay. Okay, Nitai Gunamani, Amar Nitai Gunamani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. That's too high. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nitai Guna Mani Yama Nitai Guna Mani Nitai Guna Mani Yama Nitai Guna Mani Aniya Premero Manya Bhashaino Yavani. Aniya Premero Manya Bhashaino Yavani. Premir Manya Loya Aila Gaura Deshi Premir Banya Loya Nitai Aila Gaura Deshi Rubi Lobha Kata Gano Dino Hino Bhashe Rubi Lobha Bache Dino Hino Patito Pamaro Nahi Bache Brahmara Durlabha Premo Sabakare Jache Brahmara Durlabha Sabakare Jache abadha karuna sindhu katiya muha o ghare ghare bule premo yamiyaro ma ghare ghare bule premo yamiyaro ma lochan bole moro nitai jevana bhajilo lochan bole moro nitai jevana bhajilo janiya shuniya se atmaghati hoilo janiya shuniya se atmaghati hoilo nitai gunamani aman nitai gunamani nitai gunamani aman nitai gunamani aniya premero manya bhashaino yamoni aniya premero manya bhashaino yamoni nitai he 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 o jai nityananda ram jai nityananda ram 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 पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। So I told you I learned from Ramananda. That ending just before I went into the Nitai, it was like, that one I learned from Ramananda. Sudevi, which you had another bhajan request? Oh, bhajare amar.
Yeah, you said it's too difficult, and that would be for Vaishnava.
Yeah, it kind of jumps around and it's very difficult to follow.
But Gai Gora Madhur Sware is always nice.
Gai Gora Madhur Sure is very nice. So, I love that one. I've always loved that one. Gai Gora Madhur Sure means Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He's singing in a sweet voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Page 169. Gai Gora Madhur Sare, Gai Gora Madhur Sare, Gai Gora Madhur Sare, Gai Gora मधुर स्वरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गाय गो राम मधुर स्वरे गाय गो राम मधुर स्वरे गृहे थाको वने थाको सदा हरि बोले राखो गृहे थाको वने थाको सदा हरि बोले राखो सुखे दुखे भूलो नाको बदने हरि नाम करो रे सुखे दुखे भूलो नाको बदने हरि नाम करो रे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे माया जाले बद्ध होए आछो मिछे काजलोए माया जाले बद्ध होए आछो मिछे काजलोए एखोनो चेतन पेये राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे एखोनो चेतन पेये राधा माधव नाम बोलो रे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे गाय गोरा मधुर स्वरे জীবন হইল শেষ না ভজিলে ঋষিকেশ জীবন হইল শেষ না ভজিলে ঋষিকেশ ভক্তি বিনো এই উপদেশ একবার নাম রসে মাতোরে ভক্ত এই উপদেশ একবার নাম রসে মাতোরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে গায় গোরা মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gora Madhur Share, Gai Gora Madhur Share, Gai Gora Madhur Share, Gai Gora Madhur Share. Jai Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari. Gaura He, 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 Gaura He. Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Did we sing Sarvasvatamar the other day? Yesterday, right? I think. Yes, we were speaking about master and dog. Okay, we're now to Krishna Tattva, so we're going to sing Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. Page 234. That's convenient. Easy numbers to remember. Hare Krishna. Oh. And you can all read the translation on your own. It's very beautiful. Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari, Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. O Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Koshta Vihari, Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Koshta Vihari, Nanda Yashomati Cheta Hari, Nanda Yashomati Cheta Hari. Mela Halo Damodara Aisaye Khano, Mela Halo Damodara Aisaye Khano, Bhoga Mandire Boshi Karaho Bhojana, Bhoga Mandire Boshi Karaho Bhojana. Nandero Nideshe Vaishe Nirivaro Dhari, Nandero Nideshe Vaishe Nirivaro Dhari, Baladevo Sahasakha Vaishe Sari Sari, Baladevo Sahasakha Vaishe Sari Sari, Shukta Shakadi Bhaji Nalita Kushmando, Shukta Shakadi Bhaji Nalita Kushmando, Dali Dalna Dubha Tumbi Dadhimo দালিদানা দুগ্ধ তুম্বি দাধিমোচকন্দ উদ্গবরা মাসবরা প্রতিকাগ্রেতানো উদ্গবরা মাসবরা প্রতিকাগ্রেতানো শাসকুলি পিষ্টকতি তুলিপায়সানো শাসকুলি পিষ্টকতির পুলিপায়সানো কর্পূরমৃত কেলি রম্ভাকিরাসারো কর্পূরমৃত কেলি রম্ভাকিরাসারো অমৃতরসালায়ম্লো দ্বাদশ প্রকারো অমৃতরসালায়ম্লো দ্বাদশ প্রকারো লুচি চিনি সারপুরি লাদুরসাবলি লুচি চিনি সারপুরি লাদুরসাবলি ভোজন করেন কৃষ্ণ হয়ে কুতুহারি ভোজন করেন কৃষ্ণ হয়ে কুতুহারি রাধিকার পকয়ন বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন রাধিকার পকয়ন বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন পরময়ানন্দে কৃষ্ণ করেন ভোজন পরময়ানন্দে কৃষ্ণ করেন ভোজন চলে বলে লাডু খায় শ্রীমধু মঙ্গল চলে বলে লাডু খায় শ্রীমধু মঙ্গল বগল বাজায় আরো দেয় হরি বল বগল বাজায় আরো দেয় হরি বল রাধিকা দিগনে হেরি নয়নের কোণে রাধিকা দিগনে হেরি নয়নের কোণে তৃপ্ত হয়ে খায় কৃষ্ণ যশোদা ভবনে তৃপ্ত হয়ে খায় কৃষ্ণ যশোদা ভবনে ভোজানন্তে পিয়ে কৃষ্ণ সুবাসিত বারি ভোজনান্তে পিয়ে কৃষ্ণ সুবাসিত বারি সবে মুখ প্রখালো হয়ে সারি সারি সবে মুখ প্রখালো হয়ে সারি সারি হস্ত মুখ প্রখালিয়া যত সখ গণে হস্ত মুখ প্রখালিয়া যত সখ গণে আনন্দে বিশ্রাম করে বলদেব সনে আনন্দে বিশ্রাম করে বলদেব সনে জাম্বুল রসালয়ানে তাম্বুল মশালা জাম্বুল রসালয়ানে তাম্বুল মশালা তাহাকে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র সুখে নিদ্রা গেলা তাহাকে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র সুখে নিদ্রা গেলা বিশালাক্ষী পুছ চামর ধুলায় বিশালাক্ষী nidra jayo apurva sajay Krishna sukhe nidra jayo yashomati agyape dhanishthayani to yashomati agyape dhanishthayani to Shri Krishna prasado radha bhunje hoye prito Shri Krishna prasado radha bhunje hoye prito Lalita di soti gono avashesho payo Lalita di soti gono avashesho payo Mane mane sukhe radha Krishna guna gayo Mane mane sukhe radha Krishna guna gayo Hari lila ekamatra jahar pramoda Hari lila ekmatra jahar Bhogarati Gai Thakur Bhakati Vinoda Bhogarati Gai Thakur Bhakati Vinoda Bhogarati Gai Se Bhakati Vinoda Bhogarati Gai Se Bhakati Bihari Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Oshta Bihari Nanda Jashomati Chitta Hari Nanda Yashomati Chitta Hari Nanda Yashomati Chitta Hari Yashomati Chitta Hari O Govinda Govinda Gopala Radha Govinda Govinda Gopala O Govinda Govinda Gopala Gopala, Govinda, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Govinda, Gopala. Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Oh Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Oh Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai, Krishna Hai. Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. Did I say laddus were my favorite? I think Shrikand, Rasmalai, Shrikand. So as we were singing that, I was feeling a little bad because It's talking about luchi chini sar puri, puris coated with powdered sugar, frosted, and all sorts of beautiful ingredients offered to Krishna. And we weren't making a physical offering at that time, but I was seeing mentally that we are offering mudga bora masa bora rotika gritana. Gritan, this means rotis with ghee. Shashkuli pishta kakir. So that's pishta is pistachios. Kheer with pistachios. And payasan, sweetened condensed milk. Wow, everything. So we're going to have to make an offering afterward. Something. We're going to have to offer something. Okay. Now we will call for the mercy of Srimati Radhika. But today I'm feeling like Radhe and Shyam together, perhaps in the form of Braj Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam. And that should be around 360. And it starts with Braj, with a B in the songbook. 366. Raja Janamana Sukakari, our Srila Gurudev. Choking on something. Śrī Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama Shyama Shyam Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama Shyama Shyam Radhe Shyama Shyama Shyam Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Mora Mukut Makarakrita Kundala Galavaijanti Mora Mukut Makarakrita Kundala Galavaijanti Charananupura Rasal Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Charananupura Rasal Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyam Shyama Shyam Sundara Vadana Kamala Dala Lochana Panki Chitto Manohari Sundara Vadana Kamala Dala Lochana Panki Chitto Manohari Mohana Vamshi Bihari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Mohan Vamshi Bihari Radhe Shyama 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 Oh Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Vrindavan mein dhenu charave gopi janna manahari Vrindavan mein dhenu charave gopi janna manahari Shri Govardhana dhari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Shri Govardhana dhari Radhe Shyama 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 Oh Radhe Shyam 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Radha Krishna Mili Abdo Gora Rupayavatari Radha Krishna Mili Abdo Gora Rupayavatari Kirtana Dharma Prachari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Kirtana Dharma Prachari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Shyam 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Braja Janamana Sukakari Radhe Shyama 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 Tum bina mere aur na koi naam rupayavatari Tum bina mere aur na koi naam rupayavatari Charanan mein balihari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Charanan mein balihari Radhe Shyama 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 O Nārāyaṇa balihari Radhe Shyama 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 Nārāyaṇa balihari Radhe Shyama 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 Nārāyaṇa balihari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Nārāyaṇa balihari Radhe Shyama 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 Radhe Shyam 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 Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Shyam. Braj Mandal Sukhakari Radhe Shyam, Shyama Shyam, Radhe Braj Mandal Sukhakari Radhe Shyam, Shyama Shyam. Radhe Shyam, 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 oh Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe 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 Shyam. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ju ki jai, Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai. Good question, Ramananda. Is it not proper to say Radhe Narayan? Generally, I do say Radhe and then I pause and then I say Narayan. But technically, you wouldn't say Radhe Narayan. Although Narayan means best among men. Narayan. That's what it means. So technically, Narayan can also be a name for Krishna. But since we're referring to our Srila Gurudev here, because Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj wrote that line, Narayan Balihari, when our Gurudev presented the bhajan to him. So, in order for me to breathe, I pause there. Normally I say, Radhe Narayan Balihari. But because of the syncopation, I was not able to get it in there. But yes, technically you wouldn't put Radha and Narayan together, those two names. And also because it's our Gurudev, and this is in Sadak Roop. So, Radhe Narayan Balihari Radhe. Only if you're singing about Bhagavan, Śrīmad Bhagavan Narayan. So I don't generally leave it out, but I do pause there because Radhe should fill. Right, so Radhe should fill every space, everywhere, in every situation, forever. So if there's a little space and you don't need to breathe there, then Radhe, 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 Radhe. But thank you for asking that question. Now we will sing Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Thank you, Sudevi, for reminding me. I've been forgetting to light the lamp. Okay. Damodarasṭakam, page 290. Just so you know, that higher part that I did, Nārāyaṇa Balihari Radhe Shyama Shyama Shyam, that is kind of popular in Brazil. And as I was singing that, I realized that it didn't go along with the rag. I think it's Kirvani, that because it somehow would go out of pitch from the tampura. So in the future, I won't have the ni on. I'll just have pa and pa, if you understand what I'm saying. It's cold. Sudevi, can you turn the heat on, please? My back is getting very cold. Śrī Dāmodara ki jai. Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai. Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Radharmana Ju ki jai. Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Shalagram Shila ki jai. Laddu Gopal ki jai. Little Laddu Gopal ki jai. Excuse me. It's not coming up. I must be sitting on it. Oh no. Don't normally like to do this in front of everybody, but okay. Something. So now we're doing the Damodarāṣṭakam tune that we grew up with. Page 290. Namamishwaram Satchit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyorukaladhavamanam Param Vrishtam Atyantato Drutya Gopya Udantamuhurnetro Yukmam Vrijantam Param Bhojayumeno Shatankanetam Muhu Shvasakam Patri Rekhankakam Sthita Graiva Damodaram Bhaktivedāntam Iti Drikshvalidadhir Ananda Kunde Sagoshami Jantam Akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitagyeshu Bhaktajitatvam Una Prema Tastam Shatavritti Vande Param Deva Moksham Na Mokshamadhim Va Gacchanyameneham Vareshadapiha Idam Deva Purnato Gopalabalam Sada me manosya virastam kimanye Idam te mukham bhojam abhyaktanilay Kritam kuntalay snigdha raktaischa gopya Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me Manasya virastam anam dakshalabhay Namo Deva Damodarānanta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabhimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Batanam Grihanesham Mamagyam Vidhyakshidrishya Kuberatma Jobad sevayadva tvaya mochito bhakti bhajo krito cha tata prema bhaktin sakami prayacha namokshe graho me Śrī Dāmodareho namaste Studamne Sudevi Didi tvadiyo darayatho vishvasya dhamne namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai namo nantarilayo devaya tubhyam namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai namo nantarilayo devaya tubhyam Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Śrī Radha Damodara Ju ki Jai Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki Jai I can't hear you. Yes. And now we will sing, calling out to Harinam Prabhu Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Oh Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gurudev Jai Gurudev Jai Gurudev Gurudev Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Shri Shinitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Patit Pavan Shri Nityanand Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai Radha Vinu Bihari Ju Ki Jai Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrind Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol I just saw someone say you're back. I thought it disappeared when my eyes were closed. Uh-oh, now I'm locked in. Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Nidhitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swamine Namine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate giring Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. And to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga. And to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam.
Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing today with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. And time is less because we had many very interesting and nice discussions during the bhajans. More discussions yesterday or more time today? More time today, yes. So before entering into this beautiful transcendental treasure, we will first acknowledge its author. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam was manifested from the heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni over a period of millions of years as he was progressing on the path of bhakti. From Aishwarya Bhav through the different stages, Aishwarya meaning knowledge of the supreme majesty of the Lord, praying Namami Ishvaram, and then gradually he was going deeper and deeper and deeper into the moods of the sweetness of Vrindavan. So he's admiring this idam deva vapurnata gopala balam. He wants this form of Bala Gopal to always remain in his heart. Then he wants to see it directly in his eye, with his eyes. Then he doesn't only want that, he wants to see that beautiful, sweet, lotus-like face being kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda. And then he progresses from there. Intense longing is building in his heart. And he's progressing to also wanting to see that face of Krishna being kissed again and again by Srimati Radhika. So this subjective evolution of consciousness is taking place, and he has manifested that in this form of Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, which has been placed in Śrī Padma Purana by Ved Vyas. And in this version we have the commentary of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad. The translation of that commentary was done by our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja, along with his injected Bhav Anuvad. So he has added his own transcendental vision, realizations, beautiful spiritual sentiments within that translation in his own commentary. And then that one is followed by the commentary of our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, which is just full of ras and bhav. So before entering into this beautiful transcendental treasure and investigating its contents, we will pray in the dust of all of these divine persons in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairāga juga bhakti rasam prayatnair apayana mam anubhikshamandam kripam buddhya duki sanatanastam prabham ashrayami. Begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest itself within our hearts. Now we have come to continue with verse 5. Idam te mukham bhojam avyakta nilayr vritam kuntalay snigdha raktaishcha gopya muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me manasya virastam malam lakshalabhai namamishwaram sachidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule vrajamanam. So we have just read how Srimati Radhika and the gopis are admittedly showing some jealousy toward the flute of Krishna. What kind of austerities has that hollow bamboo stick done to be able to come and take away what is our property? The nectar of Krishna's lips, the Adharamrita. All of the flute's family members, all trees, all of these senior elderly trees must be so proud that their descendant, this flute, this bamboo, has received this nectar and is constantly receiving this nectar. Oh, this flute is like Krishna's girlfriend, Bangshi Priya Sakhi. Sometimes Sudevi jokes, she's like, I'm like wife number 4. You've got your phone and your this and the computer and the 4th wife. So the priority is given in the wrong way. I know it's a sentimental thing, but this is the example that was given here. However, the gopis regard the flute with spite as if it were their co-wife. With spite. Meaning they're not getting the priority they deserve, so they're looking at that flute. It's almost, well, jealous, man. What kind of great austerities has that flute done? Gopya kim machararayam kushalam smavenu Damodarasṭakam Damodarāṣṭakam api gopikanam bhukte swayam yaravashishta rasam hradinyo rishyatvachoshru mumuchus taravo yatharya. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10:21-9. They're also seeing that the water which has provided nourishment for that bamboo to grow, which has nourished that flute, that water is exhibiting symptoms of ecstatic horripilation. How? By blossoming its lotus flowers. Just seeing, oh, we have nourished that flute by our waters. That flute has grown, and now that flute is able to be kissed again and again by Krishna's lips. The water itself, which is also conscious. You've seen that painting? Our Gurudev explained to Shamarani Didi, Jadurani, that one when Krishna and the cowherd-boys and Baladev are going to the forest and the gopis are standing off in the corner, looking. At that time you can see Yamuna is also flowing backward and going toward Krishna and offering her lotus flowers, which are the manifestations of her heart. Here the gopis are seeing that these lotus flowers are the manifestations, like the hair standing on end of anyone's body. These lotus flowers are standing out of the water. That because she has nourished that bamboo, and she's seeing, oh, Somehow, through this process, my heart is being offered to Krishna. So ecstatic transformations are taking place. The gopis have this divine and transcendental vision. So then Srila Gurudev continues. The strength to attain these exalted feelings will enter our hearts by reciting the prayers of the exalted acharyas in our Guru Varga. That's why we're chanting bhajans every day. The strength to attain these exalted feelings will enter our hearts by reciting the prayers of the exalted acharyas in our Guru Varga, headed by Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Goswāmīs. Then, step by step, we will make progress on the path of bhakti. In Shri Shri Radhika Pada Padme Vigyapati, that's the proper name of the song that we're accustomed to, Srila Rupa Goswami prays, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. O Radha, all glories to you, the most beloved of Madhava. You are the most celebrated among all of the young damsels of Gokul. Damodara Rati Varadhana Veshe Hari Nishkuta Brinda Vipineshe. The beautiful way you dress causes Śrī Dāmodar's attachment to you to swell. You are the presiding goddess of Sri Hari's pleasure groves in the forests of Vrindavan. Vrishabhanu dadhi nabashashi lekhe lalita sakhi gunaramita vishakhe. From the milk ocean of Sri Vrishabhanu Mahārāja's affection, you have arisen like a beautiful young moon. O dear friend of Lalita, by your qualities of playfulness and friendship, you have enchanted the heart of your intimate Sakhi, Vishakha. Karunam kurumayi karuna bharite sanaka sanatana varnita charite. You are so full of mercy that great yogis and brahmacharis like Sri Sanak Kumar and Sanatan Kumar are always engaged in describing your exalted nature. So please, be merciful to me. So this is the bhajan glorifying Srimati Radhika, written by Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. And then, of course, from Sri Gandharva Samprarthanāṣṭakam. Ha Devi Kaku Baragad Gadaya Devacha Yache Nipatya Bhuvidandavadud Bhatarti Asya Prasadamabudhasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvike Nijagane Gananang Videhi. O Devi Gandharvika, I am suffering greatly. I have fallen at your feet and I am lying on the ground in front of you just like a stick. With a choked voice I am begging you, please be merciful to this fool and count me as one of your own. As we sing these verses, we should meditate on our Guru Varga and consider it is you who are actually submitting these prayers, and it is you who are singing them. Without your mercy, I will never be qualified to make such prayers. It is only by their mercy that we can follow in their footsteps and pray like this, and thus gradually attain loving service to the divine couple in Braj. That's why it is so essential that we take shelter of those personalities and sing in their words, their moods. It might be that we make a mistake because we are conditioned souls. I cannot say for you, but I know that this one is bound in many, many layers of all kinds of ignorance and anarthas. So the tendency to make mistakes is there, the tendency to come under illusion, imperfect senses, and the tendency to cheat others might be there. In this connection, many, many years ago, when Srila Gurudev was daily speaking in New Braj, gosh, probably 2005 or maybe before that. There was a time when there were certain prominent preachers in Gurudev's Sangha who were very expert at speaking. And devotees were saying, even at that time, when Srila Gurudev leaves, I'm going with this one. When Gurudev leaves, I'm going with that one. Srila Gurudev commented in this regard that during the time of our Gurudev, no one ever thought when our Gurudev leaves. They never thought to even speak these words. But something was happening, and it was quite interesting. We were also guilty of it. The lectures were being recorded and distributed or even sold. And we thought we were dependent upon it. And a comment came from Srila Gurudev via Braj Mandal Prabhu. And it wasn't just for us, it was for all of the devotees. Never before during the time of one's Gurudev have we heard of anyone recording and selling their own lectures. This was surprising to Gurudev, that someone would be doing such a thing. Selling and recording their lectures, or even their lectures being sold and recorded and sold. Not ours, but still, the Gurudev's disciples during the time of Gurudev. And we thought we were dependent on it, but when we received that message, we stopped doing that immediately. And Gurudev said, the words of Gurudev are not bound to be subject to illusion. Brahm pramada karanapatava vipralipsa. They're not subject to making mistakes. They're not imperfect. They don't come from those who have imperfect senses, and they also do not cheat others. But it could be that those who are conditioned, they might make a mistake. And if that mistake is heard over and over and over and over again, then that can create a sanskar, an impression, the wrong impression. So his mood is that we should try to hear from the pure devotee. And the function of all other preachers is only to encourage all of us to go to that doctor. He said all from top to bottom are sick, and I am the only doctor. In that Sangha, he was saying, all are sick from top to bottom, and I am the only doctor. So sometimes he would send those who are a little bit less sick, those who are more healthy than others, with injections. He would always use this term, injection, to give to those who are very sick. But his mood was like this, that we should not try to, especially in the presence of one's Gurudev, present oneself as being all that. Because it might be that someone becomes attached to that person, and because of repetitive hearing of the same misconception, they can get the wrong idea or the wrong impression. So Srila Gurudev had given this instruction. And so pray properly. Krishna hears their prayers. Vaishnavira avedane. He hears their prayers. And if somehow or other we can become subservient to, attached to the lotus feet of those Vaishnavas, of Sri Guru, then when Krishna is bestowing his mercy, maybe some of that mercy, rain, will also fall on us. We should be there at the feet of Gurudev. Rain will come like this and come to the lowest point. That's where we should be. It's not that we should be low, but we should be humble. Those who are proud, they will not receive that rain of mercy. Those who are very humble, they will bow their heads low and they can drink that mercy. So taking shelter of the words of our Guru Varga, this is essential. Once again, I'm going to read. The strength to attain these exalted feelings will enter our hearts by reciting the prayers of the exalted acharyas in our Guru Varga. And then Srila Gurudev continues, as we sing these verses, we should meditate on our Guru Varga and consider, it is you, it's not me, it's you who's actually submitting these prayers. So really we're taking shelter of them and their prayers. It is you who is singing it. Without your mercy, I will never be qualified to make such prayers. This is very important instructions for us, because daily we are singing these bhajans. Daily we should do it at least 2 or 3 times, singing the bhajans, morning and evening. They're very, very powerful. And the bhajans are the manifestation of the hearts of our acharyas when they're in a heightened state of transcendental emotion. It comes out in the expression as poetry, as song. As anyone who's in love would understand. They begin dancing and singing and they don't even know, or writing poetry, and they didn't even know they had it in them. It comes out. You get a little bit of a dance in their step. And poetry comes out. Song comes out. Weeping as well. So it's only by their mercy that we can follow in their footsteps. That means we must also pray to them. We must acknowledge them. Those personalities who have written these bhajans, it's not a song, it is a manifestation of their heart. And if we hold on to them, if we pray to them, as we say every day, may even a particle of your moods appear in my heart, manifest in my heart by your mercy. It's by their mercy. Even we can sing the songs, but if we don't acknowledge the personality, usually their name is in the bhajan, so we acknowledge that personality, but if we don't acknowledge it, then what is it? It's like the frog croaking for the snake of death to come and get it, making a lot of noise. But that noise, which is not connected, what will it do? That noise will only call the snake of death. But if that noise is connected with the mood of prayer, calling on that Vaishnava, that person who has manifested this bhajan from their heart, please be merciful to me. Please manifest a drop of your mood in my heart. Then that can be heard by Krishna. Why? How? Sad anga sharanagati hoibe jahar tahara prarthana shune Shri Nandakumar. By the medium of that person whose prayer has been heard by the Lord. If we hold on tightly to them, and the Lord is responding to them, then something may also come to us. So it's only by their mercy that we can follow in their footsteps. We should pray to these Vaishnavas. I have no strength on my own. Ekaki amar nahi pai bal. I have no strength on my own. To even be able to follow your footsteps, please give me your mercy so that I can follow in your footsteps. That I can even hold on to you. I require your mercy, Shakti, to even be able to hold on. So Narottam Das Thakur is always praying like this. Praying to Nityananda Prabhu, praying to Sri Guru. The last line of Nitai Padakamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala. Rakho Ranga Charanera Pash. Please always keep me tucked close to your reddish lotus feet. By your mercy, I will attain the mercy of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Heno Nitai Vinebai, Radha Krishna Paitana. Without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, how will I ever attain the shelter of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna? It is by the mercy of Sri Guru, of Nityananda Prabhu, Guru Nityananda, that we may attain the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we will attain the shelter of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. That is our process. So it is only by their mercy that we can follow in their footsteps and pray like this, and thus gradually attain loving service to the divine couple of Braj. when the Vaishnavas pray to Krishna, it is a calling of love and affection. And because their hearts are pure, that prayer is heard by Krishna. That prayer is heard by Krishna. And if we're singing in their words, it may be that Krishna recognizes, oh, I know this love song. This is my own devotee's love song. Who's singing in that? Who's taking shelter of my devotee? Anyone who says they're my devotee, they're not really my devotee, but the devotee of my devotee, they're my devotee. And he will take interest. Our process is not to show our pride and ego. Oh, listen to my prayer. Om Jai Jagadisha Hari, give me a house by the sea. No, not like that. How to pray to Krishna. Take shelter of his pure devotees. Call out in their words which are pure and pray for a drop of their moods to enter our heart. Then Krishna may hear that prayer. And then he will reciprocate accordingly. Oh yes, I know this. Some nostalgia will come in his heart. Like hearing an old radio song from the time you were in love. And then you hear it again many years later and your heart goes, poof, something awakens inside. Krishna will hear that. Oh, I know that. Who's calling my name in their words? Who's calling the name of Srimati Radhika like this? Ha Devika Kubaragadgadadavacha Jache Nipatya Bhuvidandavarubatarti Asya Prasadam Abudhasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvikeni Jagane Garanang Videhi. I remember seeing Gurudev at Radhakund. He started singing that and his voice just choked up and he could not say that prayer. Tears were pouring from his eyes and we were all just sitting there watching him, completely mesmerized and silent, just watching. And I think there wasn't one person in the entire room that wasn't somehow hoping to even capture one nectar sprinkle of the emotion, the transcendental feeling that was present in his heart at that time. That is what we should do when we are taking shelter of the prayers of our acharyas. In the same way, when we're watching Gurudev very carefully, and he's weeping while trying to call out for Srimati Radhika, my voice is choked up. Ha Devi Ka Kubara Gadgadaya Devacha. Voice is choked up. Yacheni Patyabubi Dandavad up like a stick. I'm falling flat at your feet. Asya Prasadam Abud, please give me your mercy. Please accept me and count me as one of your own. Nijagane, in your group. Gananang Videhi, please. Like this. Seeing someone like Gurudev weeping and calling out, praying with a broken heart, his voice choked up, tears flowing from his eyes like this. Then we're all praying for just one particle of that mood to manifest in our hearts. When we're taking shelter of these bhajans, we should also be praying to these divine personalities like this. What is flowing in your heart? Please allow something to manifest in mine. There are two modes of meditation. Mantramayi Upasana and Svarasiki Upasana. Mantramayi Upasana and Svarasiki Upasana. Svarasiki Upasana is the practice, I can't call it a practice because it is actually spontaneous, but the method of which anyone who is in a very high state of sadhan bhajan is constantly receiving. They're not creating or concocting anything. They're constantly receiving all of Krishna's pastimes like a constant steady flow, one after another, like a waterfall, without cessation. It's flowing into their heart. And they're constantly seeing all of these beautiful and sweet pastimes. This is called Sva Rasiki Upasana. Mantramayi Upasana, there's some different variations of it. Mantra Mayi. It means that what we have received, what kathas we have heard, sometimes chanting any mantra and remembering the meaning of that mantra while we are taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu and serving Harinam Prabhu. That's for a different level of devotee, not on that highest, because they cannot even do mantramayi upasana. They're already spontaneously receiving everything. But for those who are practitioners on the path of sadhana bhakti, they may take any mantra. For example, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. And as they're chanting, taking shelter of Sri Harinam Prabhu, they'll be remembering that mantra and all of the teachings that Gurudev has given and the Vaishnavas have given on this. Oh, how? What is pure bhakti? It's for Krishna's benefit. So Gurudev would give the example. Chanura and Mushtika, they're wrestling with Krishna. Krishna's deriving so much pleasure. So is that bhakti? Is it bhakti? Krishna's getting so much happiness and pleasure fighting with these two. Then Gurudev would say, Mother Yashoda, she's breastfeeding Krishna. And at that time the milk in the other room starts to boil over. So she decides to put Krishna down and go save the boiling milk to engage it in Krishna's service. At that time, Krishna's holding on with both arms, both legs, and his mouth. And with one hand, she just puts him down, and he becomes really upset and angry and starts crying, and he's so frustrated. And she runs to save the milk that's boiling over. Is this bhakti? Which one is bhakti? And then he's explaining, because her intention is to please Krishna. It is favorable for Krishna, beneficial for Krishna. Then what she's doing is bhakti, even though Krishna is temporarily dissatisfied. Whereas Chanura and Mushtika, these wrestlers in the wrestling arena of King Kamsa, their intention is to kill Krishna. It is not favorable to him. It is not for his pleasure or benefit, although he himself is deriving so much pleasure. So bhakti is not about what Krishna is experiencing. Bhakti is about the intention or the mood of the person who is approaching Krishna. What is the mood in the heart of the devotee? Therefore, bhakti comes from the bhakta. Bhaktya sanjataya bhakta. Whatever is in the heart of the devotee, that's why we take shelter of the devotees of Krishna, if we want to develop bhakti for Krishna. Krishna does not possess bhakti for himself. Kind of he does, but not in the same way. That's why he wants to know what it's like to love him from the perspective of a bhakta or devotee. And which personality has more devotion for Krishna than anyone else? He decided to take shelter of their mood. Whoever gets this answer, I will know that you've been listening. And you'll get some of Isha Thakurani's birthday cake. So when one deliberately concentrates on, I was just telling you about this, meditating on any mantra, this can be called mantramayi upasana, or any pastime, like Govardhan Lila. We have heard it from Gurudev and Vaishnavas. We have read it in Śrīmad Bhagavatam or in Krishna book. We've heard it on the story tapes. And so it is the same way every time, because that's how we received it. And so we meditate on it as we have heard it. That is also like a mantra. You can call it stagnant in one sense, in that it's not spontaneously shifting in its nature. It is what it is. It's as it is. And so we're meditating on that. Whereas in Svarasiki Upasana, because those pastimes have a general structure, but there's so many unlimited varieties within them, they will manifest in different ways. Srila Bhaktivedānta Bharati Mahārāja explained that for the pure devotee, as they're telling any of these pastimes, they have access to those pastimes in whichever universe Krishna is performing them. And so as they're speaking on that particular subject matter, they will be witnessing those pastimes as they're happening, and sometimes some fresh revelation manifests. And I've heard a few times from our Gurudev, it has never been told before, but anyhow I will tell. Sometimes, rarely he would say this. But this is manifesting through this spontaneous flowing of these transcendental pastimes as they're happening in reality. But for us, or for those of us who are in the lower stages, it is exactly against the advice of our acharyas to create or manufacture any spiritual thing. Then it becomes sahajya. So instead of creating or concocting, these days it's becoming common to do so. And some people are suggesting that others should do that. But it is considered an absolute no-no. We should not. Were you saying the same thing?
No.
I have not said that in 20 years, and neither has Sudevi, but we both said it exactly at the same time. Something that we should not do is create or concoct and superimpose something into those transcendental pastimes. That will be prakrita sahajya, mundane or material superimposition of our idea into the pastime of the Lord. We don't know if it's real or not, if we're creating or concocting. Only the transcendental personality, they can witness, see, and then give any adjustment or reconciliation. New things are revealed. Sometimes. Rupa Goswami also, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas, was able to compose Rasa Shastra, scriptures related to the beautiful and sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna, as he was witnessing them within his heart. Anjali wrote, it's an absolute no-no. Prakrita Sahajya. I'm giving away someone else's birthday cake because Isha Thakurani previously said she would love to do so, and she invited all of you.
Have you been called out?
Yes, and she invited all of you that, yes, if you go, but there's one restriction. If you go to Sardinia, you have to join their Harinam Sankirtan party first, and then of course Isha Thakurani is very adept at cooking. She's probably making her own birthday cake, from what I know. She was on a cooking show on television in Italy. So, yeah, she's famous for that. So, you win. She wrote, you win. Where was I before?
Absolute no.
So, we should not create or concoct. What we have received from our Gurudev, our Acharyas, our Shastra, then we meditate on that as we have received it. And there's no harm in meditating on that as we have received it. We should be careful not to meditate, though, on those pastimes which are way above our adhikar, our pay grade, our qualification.
Gurudev said that we can meditate on those things we have heard directly from the pure devotee or read from them, to chant and remember, but not to impose myself or superimpose myself in that lila or think I am of that, but to pray to those leelas we've heard and meditate on them.
Did you hear that? In the same way that we're praying to these bhajans and the personalities who have composed these bhajans out of prem, we pray to them. So these pastimes are also not a mundane thing. So we should also pray to them to reveal themselves within our hearts and serve those pastimes. But we should not add, subtract, create, or concoct. It might be that we might not remember every single detail, so there might be some paraphrasing that may happen, or we might forget something. But we should stick to, or try to stick to, what we have heard from our Guru Varga. And while we are chanting Harinam, then we should be able to follow the instructions of Gurudev. Chant and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna.
Just like our Diksha mantras, Dhimahi, you should manifest.
Yes. So just like our Diksha mantras, we should pray to these pastimes. Dhimahi. That, yes. That you should manifest within my heart. So this for us would be mantra mayi upasana. And that is distinguished from svarasiki upasana, which is a spontaneous constant waterfall-like flow of these pastimes manifesting in one's heart. So, when one deliberately concentrates on remembering only one particular pastime while performing bhajan, it is called mantra-mayi upasana. But when Sri Bhagavan's pastimes manifest in one's heart spontaneously, one after another, it is called svarasiki upasana. When performing bhajan in Braj, only svarasiki upasana is present. In Braj, wherever the sadhak goes, he has spurtis, momentary visions of Sri Krishna's eternally new pastimes. Now we should also understand that that is also for the higher stages of those who are still in the stage of sadhana, because they're seeing the pastimes of Krishna according to the times of day also. Ashtakali Lila Smaran. I think that's also mantra-mayi upasana, but in the higher stages. But then svarasiki will be the spontaneous. Sorry. See, I made a little mistake there. So, Srila Gurudev was explaining that for that person who has already attained to perfection, they're not bound or limited to only seeing the pastimes in any particular specific time.
Like we see Ashtakali Lila according to different times.
Mm-hmm. Like we see the eightfold daily pastimes according to particular times of the day. But those personalities who have already attained to perfection, they, or who are descending from perfection for our benefit, they are able to access and witness all of Krishna's pastimes at any time, all at the same time, because in that transcendental realm, time, like we know it, linear time, is not a thing.
In the first second, in the first universe.
As Shyamrani Didi would tell from Srila Prabhupada's first class that she ever heard, in the first second in the first universe, Krishna's pastimes begin. And in the second second in the second universe, those pastimes begin. In the third second in the third universe, the first second in the second universe, and the first second in the third universe, but that would be the third second in the first universe.
Yes.
So, in other words, Krishna's pastimes are constantly, always going on. And those who have the vision of Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, they're able to access all of Krishna's pastimes, all at the same time, or at any time, at any place, at any circumstance. You know, like on New Year's celebration, every moment around the world, when the time hits, then everyone starts shooting off their fireworks. But if you have a television, you can see it at any place at any time. You can see, oh, that's when their New Year starts, that's when theirs starts, that's when theirs starts. So you can see when Krishna's pastimes are going on in any place, at any time, when you have that transcendental vision, it's constant and forever. It's always a celebration. Maha Utsav. Mahotsava. Sorry. So, Gurudev is saying, when Bhagavan's pastimes manifest in one's heart spontaneously, one after another, it's called Svarasiki Upasana. When performing bhajan and Braj, only Svarasiki Upasana is present. This would mean that you would actually have to be a qualified Brajabasi. Really, Brajabasi means that your heart is saturated with Braja Prem for Krishna in Vrindavan, in any of the rasas, but in Brajabhav. Then Svarasiki Upasana would be there. Beholding new spurtis. Spurtis means momentary visions of Krishna and his pastimes. Everywhere he looks, beholding these spurtis. So he will see everywhere Krishna's pastimes. That's why the Goswamis were running from tree to tree and place to place. Which pastimes are manifesting? Seeing all of these pastimes, one after another. We've seen that with Sanatana Gosvāmī. He saw that Rupa Goswami had compared the braid of Srimati Radhika to what? If anyone knows the answer to this. Rupa Goswami compared the braid of Srimati Radhika to what? I don't know what Isha Thakurani is having for her birthday dinner. Ah, very good, Charu. To a snake. Sanatana Goswami thought, oh, that's not very appropriate to compare the braid of our Swamini to a snake. It seems so mundane. Rupa Goswami said, if you can come up with any better example, then feel free to adjust it or correct it. So Sanatana Goswami was meditating on it. And then, off in a distance, as he was wandering, he saw some girls swinging on a swing and a bunch of girls around her. And then he saw a big black snake, and it looked like it was ready to strike. And he started calling out, Lali, Lali, be careful, there's a snake, there's a snake. And then he started running closer to warn them. And as he was running closer, that whole vision disappeared. And he realized at that moment, oh, that's Srimati Radhika and the gopis. And her braid actually resembled a black snake, a black cobra, as it was swinging to and fro. And then he told Rupa Goswami, at that moment he decided, I will never have to correct or even suggest any corrections to what Rupa Goswami has said ever again. It is perfect. That is the perfect analogy. So Sanatana Goswami is having this vision. Gurudev was saying here that everywhere he looks, he exclaims, oh, Krishna performed this pastime here. He then beholds another spurti, and he performed that pastime over there. In an unbroken chain, Sri Krishna's pastimes are stirred up in his heart. Svarasiki Upasana is called Raganuga or Lobhamayi Bhakti. Bhakti which is imbued with intense hankering. All of our Guru Varga are immersed solely in this mode of meditation. Svarasiki Upasana. So that's why we don't want to bring them all kinds of mundane problems. Think about it like this. Gurudev, I'm having difficulty in my relationship. Should I get a divorce? Devotees would come up to him and ask him these questions. And Gurudev is meditating, witnessing a constant steady flow of the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So when we approach Sri Guru, we should approach Sri Guru with great care and attention. Bando mui savdhana mate. Sudevi, your wampers are going. Bando mui savdhana mate. With great care and attention. We should approach Gurudev with relevant inquiry, pariprashna, that will be beneficial for my progress on the path of bhakti. His desire is, please, make me happy by becoming happy yourself. Chant your Harinam and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. All mundane problems are not problems. There's only one problem. Does anyone know what that problem is? There's only one problem. Whoever knows this will get donuts from Isha Thakurani's birthday. How rude am I? Oh. Krishna's pastimes follow a very similar structure, but there are variations. For example, and we've heard it, Pulastya Rishi once was bringing Govardhan and set Govardhan in this place. In one kalpa. In another kalpa, Hanuman brought Govardhan and set Govardhan down in this place. In one kalpa, Srimati Radhika is manifested to Vrishabhanu Mahārāja in a 1,000-petaled golden lotus in Vrishabhanu Kund in Barshana. In another kalpa, she's manifesting in... Where was that? Raval. I was thinking also he found her there in a lotus flower. But in Raval. So in different places, it's happening slightly differently. But the same general pastimes are there. You can understand that like when Krishna wants to perform his pastimes, it's like a transcendental road show. So when you have a road show, a Broadway show or something, all of the props, all of the decoration, all of the background is also necessary for that beautiful drama to go on. So Govardhan is there, Yamuna is there, everything is present, and then Krishna performs his pastimes. Is it exactly the same way every time? Oh no, absolutely not. Is our everyday the same? No. We have some basic structure. We wake up, we go to the bathroom, we brush our teeth, we have some breakfast, right? We shower, we have some breakfast, we do our sadhana, but the basic structure is there, but every single day is not exactly the same. Definitely not. Every single day and every single moment is ever fresh, but there's some similar structure. So just like, let's say, music. You can have one rag, and with that one rag, which is a single structure, sometimes, well, it's called a scale. With that one scale, you can make millions of different songs, but you're still within that scale. So there are certain pastimes, you can say Govardhan Lila, but Govardhan Lila will manifest as Govardhan Lila, but there will be so many unlimited variations within it. Krishna's pastimes are Navayovana, ever fresh and unlimited and inconceivable and dynamic. Everything about the transcendental realm is dynamic. It means it's always moving, endless, transcendental variety, and that increases Krishna's transcendental pleasure infinitely. So, okay. I think Devaki's talking to me. I can only answer the easy questions, none of the learned Shastra Tattva ones. After the Mahamantra. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. So everyone wait for darshan, and also we're going to offer birthday blessings to Isha Thakurani. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Prabhupada Guru Varga Ki Jai Patik Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai Radha Vinod Bihari Ji Ki Jai Radha Maraju Ki Jai Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Mm-hmm. Have them all here.
Or you have more?
Okay. Giriraj.
Okay. Is Isha Thakurani there?
Yes.
Okay. Lasagna. Okay. Yes. Lasagna Manjari. Okay. Isha Thakurani. Didi. You have to sit on your knees and close your eyes and see that Srila Gurudev is present and all Vaishnavas are present. And all Vaishnavas, please take your virtual flowers in your hands. And in the name of Srila Gurudev, we are going to all offer blessings to Isha Thakurani. Mangalam Bhavatu.
Mangalam Bhavatu.
Drop your flowers.
Don't put them on the floor.
Uh-oh. Guru Nishta Bhavatu.
Guru Nishta Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
Isha Thakurani Ki Jai. May you be victorious in all of your endeavors in bhakti by the mercy of Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas. Srila Gurudev would always say, may you be happy now, may you be happy into the future, and may you be happy
forever.
Forever, all the way into
To
perfection.
And Didi, thank you so much for always encouraging us in our seva and for always bringing us to Sardinia and feeding us and helping us to serve Srila Gurudev together. You are our familia and we wish you all the best in every way. I don't know if you could hear me.
Tanti auguri.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So now we're going to have close-up darshan of Thakurji.
Hari Hari Bo.
For some reason I couldn't think of Vrindavan Bihari Lal. I was thinking Vinod Bihari Lal. Thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings and pastimes of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga. And especially today, wow, how beautiful are these instructions of Srila Gurudev and how pertinent for us. So valuable and so essential. Bringing everything to doing it. Everything in bhakti with a deep intention and a deep mood. So this is the mercy of Srila Gurudev and that we're able to contemplate this these teachings and these instructions. We are so fortunate. Also, we are so fortunate that all of you on a daily basis are giving us the opportunity to follow the order of our Gurudev, our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. We cannot repay you for that. We are indebted. So we can't even say thank you. All we can do is express our immense gratitude and our indebtedness to you. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Isha
birthday
Thakurani.
to you.
Happy
Hare Krishna
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Hare Krishna, dear Isha Thakurani. Hare Krishna to you.
May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. Unless it's from the womb of a gopi. When Krishna's on the planet and you associate with Nitya Siddha gopis.
May you never take birth again. Isha Thakurani ki
Jai!
Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki
Jai! Dandavat pranam, Jai!
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe! Sadhu Sangha ki Jai!